Last year, I reviewed the Wind 3 Pro and Wind 3 TR, but I skipped the standard 3. I just didn't like that shoe. I could tell right away I wasn't a fan. I thought it had real design flaws. The Wind 4 dropped really out of nowhere this year. I only found out it launched while window shopping on Taobao. Today, we are checking it out. As the backbone of Qiaodan speed training line, can this 4th generation finally get it right? I started this channel to review Chinese running products. More importantly, it's my way of forcing myself to practice spoken English. I'm self-sponsored and money doesn't grow on trees. Whether good or bad, I'm going to give you my honest take with no filters. Let's dive in from the specs. Officially, it's a 24mm in the forefoot, 34mm in the heel with a 10mm drop. But I'm pretty sure that's off. On foot, this feels more like a 7 to 8mm drop shoe, similar to the Red Hare 8 Pro. The midsole uses the same molding process as the Flame 5 Mix I reviewed recently. It's a full slab of foam. They place the plate inside the mold first, held by pins, then inject the material to form the whole midsole in one piece. That's called one piece foam molding. Compared to a sandwich structure, the benefit is you don't need glue to bond the foam and the plate. It improves the flexibility when bending and also cuts down some weight. My size 45 comes in at 256 grams, which is pretty lightweight. For reference, other trainers with nylon or plastic plates, like the Saucony Endorphin Speed 5, weigh 265 grams, and the Flame 5 Mix is 272 grams. Fit-wise, it's true to size. For reference, I usually wear 45 in Chinese brands and 46 in Hoka or New Balance. After the basics, let's take a look at the details. This is another trainer that feels like a race shoe. A lot of recent shoes give me that vibe. They just have a bit more heel padding than actual race shoes. If I closed my eyes and felt the upper, I'd think I was holding a racing shoe. Thin, lots of mesh. Personally, I prefer trainers to be a little more comfortable and durable, like a double-layered jacquard mesh wouldn't set my feet on fire. Anyway, I really don't like those 0.5 updates Qiaodan and 361 do, just sinking the upper and calling it a new version. I think if they want to break into international market, follow international naming. Like, don't call it Wind 4.5, call it Wind 4 Winter Edition. Simple and clear. Moving on, the tongue is also pretty thin, connected with gussets. The heel got some structured support, and the width feels like they actually listened. More room in the toe box and midfoot compared to last year's 3TR. Great news for wide-footed runners. For me, with a normal to narrow foot, it lacks a bit of lockdown. Not sliding around, just packed all the way back, settle against the heel counter. Moving to the midsole, before I bought, I thought that orange line was just a painted on design accent, but from this angle, you can see it's actually 3D. It's the edge of the plate. Yeah, Qiaodan threw in a super wide plate here, wider than the midsole platform itself. That maybe explains why the stability is actually pretty good when running. I put over 50 kilometers on it so far, and I've always trusted Qiaodan CPU also. Durability doesn't depend on the price. Even their cheaper shoes don't skip out on durable CPU rubber. This brand is a love-hate thing for sure, but at least they are real about their authors. With that out of the way, let's talk about the pros and cons of actually running in it. This is an everyday speed shoe, also providing a plate that wasn't necessarily carbon. There is a snappy response to the rock-off ride and a good return from the midsole that feels lively and balanced. It's not a super squishy foam, it's not a firm ride. You are going to feel a lot of rebound. I doing my workout in this shoe, I felt kind of effortless out there. Put it on cruise control and the shoe just knew what to do. It also feels pretty lightweight, so that made for an easy workout. They've added a little bit of roll tech to help you get up into your next stride. It encourages you in sort of pushing you to pick up your stride, pick up your cadence, and run just a little bit faster than your normal daily pace. Stability-wise, I think it's pretty good. I mean, the platform isn't very wide up in the forefoot, and it's thin out in the midfoot area. But with that super wide plate, stability is no problem. The plate here is not like a propulsive plate, it's more of a stability thing. I think that's a good thing here. It stays flexible and natural. Just a great all-around everyday shoe to bring a smile to your face when you are getting your runs done. I don't have many complaints about this shoe, besides the upper fit I mentioned and a cosmetic quality issue. The back midsole on my right shoe, compared to my left, I don't even know how to describe this in English. I thought maybe it was from driving, but no way. It's almost definitely a defect from the forming process. Before wrapping up this video, I want to compare it to some other shoes to help you better understand the Wind 4 from a ride characteristic standpoint. Starting with the 361 Flame 5 Mix, it shares the same midsole molding process, and I paid almost the same price for them. In my 5 Mix review, my regret was that it lost some of that ideal ride feel, partly from the 272 grams weight and partly from the overly wide platform. The Wind 4 basically fixes both of those things for me. It's way easier to pick up the pace without feeling sluggish, and slightly softer than the 5 Mix, a touch more cushioned and comfy. A few days after my 5 Mix video dropped, I saw 361 official explanation. They positioned the 5 Mix as a plated max cushion shoe. That made sense, matched how it felt. So if your normal pace around 530 per kilometer, go with the 5 Mix. If you are doing interval sessions around 430 per kilometer pace, grab the Wind 4. It's light, and the ride helps you hold speed without fighting the shoe. In that review, I compared the 5 Mix to the Saucony Endorphin Speed 5. It wasn't quite at the Speed 5 level, but the Wind 4, I'd say, it kills the game. Both are non-carbon plated trainers with beaded foams, but the Wind 4 edges out the Speed 5 in energy return, especially up front. It feels noticeably more comfortable and energetic for me. Where the Speed 5 wins is the upper, the fit and lockdown feel way more refined. In China, the Speed 5 costs about triple the price of the Wind 4. Overseas, probably still over double. If you factor in price, the Wind 4 is an insane value. Hard not to recommend. Quite frankly, just gotta be okay with the logo. I also stacked the Wind 4 up against the Red Hare 8 Pro and 9 Pro, both priced almost identically to the Wind 4. Different positioning though. Wind is more speed-oriented, Red Hare leans steady. So yeah, less energy return on the Red Hare, no surprise. I think the plastic plate in the Wind 4 is pretty mild. It doesn't put pressure on my feet. It kind of covers the Red Hare's whole use case. You could probably just buy one shoe instead of separate daily trainer and a tempo shoe. It feels great underfoot and it's very versatile. You could pick out of the pile for a wider range of runs. Last quick side note, Red Hare 8 Pro versus 9 Pro. If you are choosing between them, I'd say get the 8 Pro on sale. Even with A/B testing, the differences is tiny. Without testing back to back, I can barely tell them apart. They feel like the same shoe to me. I will make a video on the 9 Pro later. Alright, this video will probably drop around Chinese New Year. I want to wish all of you guys more money, more shoes, and more fun running. See you in the next video and hope you have a good one.